Hi everybody, I'm at Lilliardsedge today. I'm standing on the hill at the A68, just above Lilliardsedge Caravan Park, which is down there, and that's part of it there as well. And I'm here at the Monteith Douglas Mosoleum. Now I'm standing, at the moment I'm right on the edge of Ancrum Moor, and I'm looking, if I zoom in there, just seeing the mist there, there's Pine Hill Tower, and just over there, if I zoom in again, is Ancrum. I'm sure that's Ancrum there. It could be, oh wait, that could be up there. That's actually more likely to be Ancrum there. And it's quite significant. In between those 2 points, and I think I can see it from here, is the place of the Ancrum Moor battlefield, and that battle took place in 1545, and it was during the time of the wooings of Henry VIII. Henry had reached his latter years in life, and he had tried and failed to get the Scottish government to agree to the marriage of the infant Mary Queen of Scots to his son Edward, to continue his line in keeping the throne within his family. And so he decided to try and basically force Scotland into the marriage, and he sent his troops up, some 20,000 English army men, up to do battle, to skirmish, to do whatever they could to get a hold of Mary Queen of Scots, to take her down and force her to marry Edward. And during those skirmishes, they had just raided Kelso and Jedburgh before Kelso, I think, raised it with fire, and they were heading south again, and they had reached Ancrum, and they spotted some Scottish borderers up on Pine Hill there, and decided to turn and defeat them. Now, the Scottish army that was there on the hill were joined with some more Scotsmen coming south, or coming down from the Mosoleum Tower area, which is over there. You can just see it on the hilltop there. And they joined the army on Pine Hill, and the battle commenced in the moor here. Now, it's significant in the fact that Scotland won that battle, and that battle stopped the fighting. It stopped the raids from England for a year or two. Obviously it wasn't the end of things were to continue on afterwards, but it's significant in the fact that it stopped the fighting for a wee while or two. A wee year or two. But that's no the only reason I'm here today. I've got the key in my pocket for the Mosoleum here, and I'm going to take a walk in. Now, this Mosoleum was built by Thomas Monteith Douglas. He was a British Army officer in the Bengal Infantry, and he was born in Jamaica to a Scottish father and an English mother, and he spent most of his career in northern India, or Pakistan as it's known today, and he returned to Britain in 1845 and inherited the estate of the Douglas support from Lanarkshire, and in 1850 which required him to add the name Douglas to his name. Over the first half of the 19th century, Monteith Douglas had risen through the ranks, becoming increasingly senior, and he started out as a cadet and ended up as a general. And while he was in India, he married Lucinda Florence Wish in Meerut, India in 1826, and she died in 1837, having given him children. And if you pause there, if I just come in a little bit, and you'll be able to read what's written here. I'll come over here. Now, during the latter half, Thomas spent his time basically in this area, managing the estates and building this, his final resting place. And there's the man himself. And in his will, it basically was stated that the building was to be locked for all time once his body was put in there. And it was locked until the early 20th century, when the doors had been breached, and it became publicly known when the press released information that the place had been breached, the doors had been breached. And since then, people have been in and out of the place. Now, in 2018, the place was in quite a state of disrepair, and excuse me, a society called the Friends of the Monteith Douglas Mosoleum came along, and they restored the place. And you can now get in, but to get in you've got to get the key. Now to get the key, you've got to go into the Lilliardsedge caravan park. You give them a tenner or £10, and you get the key. And when you take the key back, you'll get £5 back, and the £5 they keep goes to the Friends of the Monteith Mausoleum to cover the costs of restoration and the costs of the upkeep of the place. Now, it's well worth it. Now, I've already been in here today, I've been inside, and the feeling of peace and serenity when you walk in there, it's like a brick wall. It's like walking into a brick wall of serenity. It's amazing. Now, on the outside here, we have 2 lions, sleeping one here, and these are life-sized, massive beasts. This one here's sleeping, and this one over here is awake. And they're seemingly, well, I would assume, guarding Monteith Douglas's body. I did read somewhere before coming here that his body's not here and nobody knows where his body is, but there's certainly no signs of that in having read what I've read on the boards there. Now I've just unlocked one door, one key. This one I did earlier, so it's already open. This is amazing. I'm opening both the doors here so we can get as much light in as possible. And again, that feeling of serenity just stepping in here. to see this crypt, the Angel's Garden, on both sides. Now, unfortunately, over the years, there's been some vandals have been in. Sick people. You can see that there or not. And that was in 2018. Bell, TM, and HF. Sick people. Absolutely no respect for the dead whatsoever. There's a visitor's guide here. Oh. See if you can zoom in on that, pause and zoom in. You should be able to read it. It tells you about Thomas Monteith Douglas. It tells you a little bit about the location. And if I turn it over, it tells you a bit about the crypt and the restoration of the crypt. There you go. If you can pause that and zoom in, you should be able to read it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to close the doors while I'm on the inside here. It's a beautiful view. I'll do that before I close the doors. Just let you see the view from the inside here. It's so peaceful. I'm gonna close the door and then I'll film for a moment or two without me saying a word, just so you can hopefully capture the peace that's in here. Beautiful place to be laid to rest. To my thinking, this is well worth a visit. And it costs a £5 in total to get in here. Like I said earlier, you give them £10 when you get the key, and when you take the key back, you get a £5 back. But just that feeling of serenity alone, when you walk in there, it's well worth a £5, and it's well worth the visit and the walk up through the caravan park. It's a beautiful surrounding with some beautiful views. So I would highly recommend any of you that want to come along and visit this place, please do. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day at that. I thank you for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope the video hasn't bored you, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. Thanks now. Bye bye.